All right, Bears fans, we're just over a week out from the NFL draft. Who do you want the Bears to take at number 10 overall? Because coming up on today's show, we're going to explore the best case scenario in the top 10 picks for the Chicago Bears. I'm Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now by Chat Sports. And on today's show, we're going to kind of take a look at the outlook of what I think would be the best case scenario. That's at least somewhat realistic. Like, I'm not going to be like, Abdul Carter falls to 10. Like, that's just so outside the realm of possibility. But I think today's show is going to be like, okay, if a lot of things go right, this would be awesome. Last week, he did the worst case scenario. In reality, it'll probably fall somewhere in the middle. So let's get to the top 5 picks of my best case mock draft. Cam Ward still goes 1. Travis Hunter to the Browns. And then maybe the Giants reconsider. They're working out Shedeur Sanders in a private workout this Thursday. They're also going to do a private workout with Jalen Milroe and Tyler Shuck. Maybe the owner gets involved. We saw John Mara on Hard Knocks last year say Saquon's their most popular player by far. And look, owners care about that stuff, right? Because they can sell jerseys and they can grow popularity and they can get more headlines on ESPN and all that. And maybe, just maybe, they reconsider and take Shedeur at 3, even though the recent reports suggest that they would not. I think the Giants are the key in terms of the best case potentially playing out for the Bears. If they go BPA and take Abdul Carter, I think that obviously is not the best case scenario for the Bears, because you want as many quarterbacks to go in the top 10 before Chicago. But if they do go Shedeur, that just slides everybody down, right? And then Abdul Carter ends up going 4. I still would guess Mason Graham goes 5, but maybe that's too obvious. Who knows? 6, I'll admit, is a reach, but they did cut Jack Jones, so they now need a corner. So, I think the Raiders, if they wanted Will Johnson, would probably prefer to try to trade down, but maybe they opt to fill that need there with the corner out of Michigan. Armin Mimbu to the Jets at 7. Jalen Walker at 8. I think that would be a better case scenario for the Bears than Mike Green, because at least for me personally, I would rather have Mike Green on this defense. And then the Saints go Jackson Dart. A lot of buzz on that the last few days. In fact, there's even some buzz that maybe the Saints would go Dart over Shedeur at 9 regardless. So we'll see how that plays out. And then the Bears sitting there at 10 have their option at a few, I think, blue chip guys, right? Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State still on the board. Will Campbell out of LSU still on the board. And again, I think the Giants are key for Will Campbell potentially sliding, because right now for the Patriots, it sounds like it's either Abdul Carter or I guess Travis Hunter if Cleveland doesn't take him, or Will Campbell. If both are gone, it sounds like they're going to take Will Campbell. But if one of those other two guys is available, maybe Campbell starts to slide a little bit, and maybe he finds his way in the Bears' lap at 10. Tyler Warren would still be available, and even Mike Green, who I think is 4th out of these 4 players in terms of notable players left, especially in the Bears' eyes, I would guess. I'm probably higher on him than the Bears are, but those are 4 guys I would all be very comfortable taking with the number 10 pick. Again, this is the dream scenario, right? Like last week, we acknowledged what the worst case scenario was, which we'll flash real quick for you guys, is this, right? Where only one quarterback goes in the top 9, and all of Will Campbell, Mason Graham, Tyler Warren, Mike Green, Ashton Jeanty go, and that is certainly a possibility. And then the Bears find themselves in a spot where they probably hope to trade down, or they take like a Mykel Williams or an Marion Hampton, which wouldn't be bad picks, but you would certainly rather have one of the players that is off the board at this point in time. If you want that full video breakdown of what the worst case scenario in the draft is, and look, it's not me being negative, I just think this is what these teams do, right? I'm trying to simulate these exercises that Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham and Ben Johnson are doing. Like, hey, what if this happens? What do we do? What if that happens? What do we do? Today, we're doing the best case scenario. So subscribe to the channel, daily NFL or Bears content around the NFL draft. Pretty much every video is draft related at this point in time, as we are just over a week out. Okay, let's break down those 4 players that I think the Bears would consider in this best case scenario. Obviously, Ashton Jeanty, a player we've talked about a ton. If you watched our last video go out last night, Cullen did his Bears mock draft, our producer, and I reacted to it. He does have Jeanty falling to the Bears at number 10. I think he would be a tremendous fit. We know the type of prospect he is as a runner, excellent contact balance. I think he had like 1,800 yards rushing after contact last year. I mean, just one of the most insane individual seasons in the history of college football. If it wasn't for Travis Hunter, he would have won the Heisman Trophy. We saw a couple of years ago his ability to catch the football. Last year, those numbers were less because they just leaned on him so heavily as a runner, but he's shown the ability to be a dynamic weapon out of the backfield, and I think that's the key word, weapon. Ben Johnson talked about that at the owners' meetings. We viewed Jahmyr Gibbs as a weapon in Detroit. I would think they view Ashton Jeanty as a weapon, even though they're obviously different players. I thought this was interesting as well. Mina on ESPN the other day was kind of asked about the fit for Ashton Jeanty. She doesn't love it for the Raiders. She likes it much more for Chicago. She said, I think when you look at the top 10, thinking about places where you want to take him, a team that comes to mind is Chicago for me. One that has put a lot of money into fixing their offensive line, because if you stick him behind a bad offensive line, that's not a good draft pick. Not that the Raiders' O-line is terrible, but I do think the Bears, for the first time in a while, at least feel like they have a good unit, right? They get one of the best guards in the NFL in Joe Thuney. They get a player in Jonah Jackson who's motivated and has excelled under Ben Johnson before. You invest in Drew Dahlman at center. Darnell Wright's an ascending right tackle. Sure, left tackle is, maybe not a high-level strength, but you have a serviceable player when healthy in Braxton Jones, and you might add a piece there at some point as well. But you see the investment. They're fourth in the NFL in offensive line spending all of a sudden. They were bottom, I want to say 7 for the last 4 or 5 years. So they have flipped that just like that in one offseason. So they are clearly investing in that position. I don't think they're done. I think they're going to add more at the left tackle spot. And I just think with the investment up front, the talent Ashton Jeanty is, the offensive mind that is Ben Johnson, I think Ashton Jeanty would flourish in this offense. I think the fit is there. He can run gap. He can run zone schemes. He can catch the football. He's a solid route runner. He probably needs to improve in blitz pickup, but that's most backs coming into the NFL. The only really good one in this draft is Travion Henderson, but I think he's passable in that area. So yeah, I would love it if he fell to 10, and I think it'd be a home run pick. Okay, today's show is sponsored by Mando. Listen, deodorant is not optional if you're looking to go on a first date anytime soon. And guess what, guys? Spring is in the air, which means you're going to be spending more time outside. I know I certainly am, as I love to get out and play golf. I like to go to happy hours with outdoor porches. We actually had a company outing the other day at a fun outdoor place. It got a little warm, but hey, I was rocking my Mando, and, I wasn't stinking up the joint. Unlike a couple of people in the company, I won't name any names, but listen, these products are going to keep you smelling nice from head to toe, regardless of what you're doing out and about. And when I say whole body deodorant, that's what I mean. Their products are safe from head to toe, whether it's your pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons. Mando has you covered. Different products, including the solid deodorant stick, the spray deodorant, and perhaps the most convenient one, the deodorant wipes, which are personally my favorite. You can see these right here. I always have these on the go if I'm out and about. Wipe myself down from head to toe. I am good to go. I personally recommend the starter pack, as it is perfect for new customers. It comes with that solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant as well, and then 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash or the deodorant wipes, plus free shipping. Special offer for our viewers. New customers get $5 off the starter pack with our exclusive code CHAT. That is code CHAT for 40% off, over 40% off at shopmando.com. That link and promo code are in the comments and description of this video. It's shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Okay, let's get to the next player here. Will Campbell, who we're going to have a video later this afternoon, report from Albert Breer that Campbell, Jeanty, and one other prospect that I will remain unnamed, that their floor is the Bears. So I think, the Bears could be kind of tipping their hands of what their plan A is in terms of the caliber player they would like to get to them at number 10. Look, if he gets there and they view him as a left tackle, very tempting. Very, very tempting, because if he hits at left tackle, you could be talking about having your offensive line set for a while. I mean, sure, there might be some shuffling here and there, and injuries always pop up, but you got 2 bookend tackles in Campbell and Darnell Wright. You've got Joe Tooney, who at least for this year is going to be here, I would imagine, for a couple more years as well. Jonah Jackson, if he can get back on track, I think is still only 26, 27 years old. Drew Dahlman's going to be here for a couple of years. Like, that could go from a weakness to a strength pretty quickly. I think it already has, but if you add the left tackle, who's an upgrade over Braxton Jones, that certainly would be the case. And I think something I probably haven't talked about enough when it comes to left tackle either is, look, the Bears are picking number 10, and they've been picking high the last few years, and we hope that's not the case because we hope that they're winning a lot of games, going to the playoffs, etc., and picking in the 20s. Well, the downside of that is it is hard to get premium offensive tackles that late in the draft. So if the Bears view Will Campbell as one and he's there, you may have to take him, because even if you slightly like someone else, because the chances of landing a franchise tackle in the second, third round, it's kind of like quarterbacks, right? Yeah, for every Jalen Hurts, there's 7 guys in the second round that are out of the league in 5 years or are career backups. It's kind of true at offensive tackle as well. Now, there's obviously exceptions to the rule, but typically the really, really good ones, they go in the top 10 or 15, and if they view Will Campbell or someone else as a premium one, then they might really, really consider taking him at 10, because if you're picking 24 next year, which that'd be great because the Bears would be a playoff team, kind of going to be hard to find a left tackle without trading up. And if you look at what the Bears currently have, Braxton Jones, again, solid player, found him in the 5th round. That was a good find. But entering free agency after this year, he is coming off a major leg injury, not expected to be 100% by training camp. Kron Amagaji, he's got all the tools, but still very raw, needs technique work, just needs real NFL practice and game reps, because remember, he missed all the offseason program last year with an injury, and when he did play last year, he was kind of just thrust into it, and he wasn't really ready. That's it. Those are your options, not only for now, but moving forward, maybe only Amagaji's on the roster. So, yeah, long story short, I think Will Campbell would be heavily under consideration. Okay, excuse me. Sip of water there. Okay, Tyler Warren, a player that I recently have deemed as the most likely premium player that the Bears could get at number 10, just based on the teams ahead of them, what they need, how the draft could fall. That's kind of how I see it. If you check a lot of national mock drafts recently, ESPN put one out yesterday. Dane Brugler put one out today. We'll probably react to that one soon. Tyler Warren's the pick at 10, because I think you're starting to see trends where they expect players to go ahead of them, and Warren could be the best player on the board. Dynamic player, physical. He's not like the most smoothest athlete of all time. He can improve as a blocker still, but he's just a chess piece. He's just a fun player that you can do different things with. Dane Brugler had this to say about the Penn State tight end. Warren still has developing to do as a route runner and blocker, but he is an agile-footed big man who naturally tracks the football with dependable hands and a hunger to create after the catch. He projects as a rookie starter with traditional qualities, as well as the schematic versatility to be a multi-tool weapon for a play caller. And that versatility that's the word for me. You want him to line up, in line and be a traditional tight end, he can do that. You want to split him out wide, especially in the red zone against smaller corners, throw jump balls to him, he can do that. You want to create a wildcat package for him, he can do that. Need him to block in, short yardage situations, he's at least good enough at that. Like, I just think he's a chess piece. And I think with a guy like Ben Johnson, who's a creative offensive play caller, by the way, Warren was a high school quarterback. We saw Ben Johnson call a play for Penei Sewell to throw the ball last year. You think he'd be above having Tyler Warren throw the ball? I don't think so. Now, I don't think you draft a guy to run a trick play pass with, but it's just an extra thing you could do with this guy. And look, you still don't have a great tight end room. Cole Kmet's a good player. After that, Durham Smythe is fine. He wasn't that good last year, but he's fine. I think as a tight end 3, solid. Steven Carlson, he's like a fringe practice squad 53 roster guy. Like, you'd rather have him as like your 4th guy. So I still think whether you add one high or later in the draft, you're going to have to add one. And if you get him here, then you've kind of just checked that box very, very early. Okay, then Mike Green, a player I'm higher on than probably the average Bears fan or even person in general is. I watch the guys, and, I'm not an expert. I'm not an NFL scout, but I trust my eyes, and I think I have a good feel for what a good football player looks like at most positions. To me, he's the best edge rusher in the draft after Abdul Carter. Speed, strength, ability to set the edge in the run game, just multiple pass rush moves. I don't really see a weakness in his game. Sure, he's 6'3", 251. Would you prefer him to be 6'5", 265 with longer arms, especially in a Dennis Allen defense? Probably. But can the guy play or can he not? To me, he's a plug-and-play starter in the NFL. So why overthink it? Like, he's productive. Harrison, he played at a small school. We'll address that in a second. You look at his PFF grades from last year, just dominant. Pass rush win rate. That means 1 out of every 5 pass rush reps, he wins. That's a very high number at 20.2%. Run stop rate at 9.4%. Like, when you're looking at a line graph, it's like as far right as it could possibly be compared to his peers in this draft. Like, he's it's basically saying he's the best edge-setting run defender in the draft. Now, maybe that one is one you could look at more of like, well, over the course of 12 games on a Marshall Thundering Herd football schedule, that benefits him. Okay, fair enough. But I know this. Against Ohio State and Virginia Tech, he had 3 sacks, several pressures. I think I saw a number that against Virginia Tech, he had 9 pressures. 9? Like, when he played big-time competition, he delivered on more than one occasion. Now, again, the red flag is the sexual assault allegations. He had one in high school. He had one at Virginia. Now, he has been adamant that those are false. He openly talked about it at the NFL Combine. But I don't know. Sometimes there are false allegations. Sometimes they're accurate. That's up to these teams to figure out. It's never gone to a court proceeding as far as I know, at least not publicly. I guess it's possible the high school one did, but if he was a minor, then that got held under wraps. I'm not sure. But, again, that's up to the teams. I am not defending taking a player if you feel like there's truth to this story. But if you feel comfortable with it, if you do your research and you don't think that there's anything to those 2 allegations, then I think as a player, he's a fringe top 10 player in this draft. And the Bears were picking 10th. So, again, that's up to the teams. I don't have access to the information these teams have. But as a pure football player, I think he's really, really good. Okay, pick 1 to draft. Out of these 4 guys, if in some magical world, again, dream scenario, who would you pick? Type AJ for Ashton Jeanty, WC for Will Campbell, TW for Tyler Warren, or MG for Mike Green. Let us know in the comment section below. My name is Harrison Graham. We will be here every single day. Really, we're always here every single day, but especially leading up to the NFL draft with daily content. So be sure to subscribe. See you guys soon here on Chicago Bears Now.